Agriculture Secretary Francisco Tiu Laurel continues to press for amendments to the rice tariffication law. Failure to do so, he warns, will kill the local rice industry. Tiu Laurel wants the said law, which liberalized rice imports, amended so government can regain control. Passed in 2019, the RTL opened the market to largely unregulated rice imports by private traders. But cheap imported rice has created a problem for local rice producers who continue to deal with higher production costs. Laurel plans to meet with leaders of Congress to rally support for tweaks in the RTL. House Speaker Martin Romualdez has already filed House Bill Number 1, or the Rice Act. This bill aims to restore the National Food Authority's regulatory powers, authorize the Department of Agriculture to restrict imports, particularly during harvest season, and allow the government to set a floor price for palay. And despite problems with rice imports, local palay and corn production have gone up. Data from the Philippine Statistics Authority shows palay production rising in the first half of 2025, or an increase of 6.4% from the same period last year. The figure suggests that the DA may surpass its harvest target for the year.
And we now speak to the Agriculture Chief himself, Francisco Tiu Laurel. Welcome back to the big story, Secretary Kiko.
Good evening, Sean and Pauline. Glad to be back.
We understand that this is a matter of urgency, parang maybe 6 weeks or so. Is that correct? And can you explain why?
Well, it's very urgent dahil papasok na tayo sa harvest season at ang peak nito is September and October this year, no? And again, the next harvest nito will be February, March next year. So it is quite urgent considering yung palay prices is very low.
Mm-hmm. How soon can Congress act to reimpose? What you want is to reimpose the original tariffs on rice imports. Is this right, Secretary?
Well, eventually, yes. Ang hiling ko is may balik sa 35% yan eventually. But initially, I'd like a two-step, no? One would be from 15 to 25 muna. Tapos after a while, to 35. Para hindi masyado ma-shock yung sistema ng value chain.
And if it were up to you, Secretary Kiko, ano po yung mas gugustuhin nyo, no? Maipasa itong Rice Act or maamyendahan yung rice tariffication law?
Well, I think both naman will tackle the same issue, no? So, kung ano ho mas mabilis, doon tayo.
But we do understand, Secretary, that you were pushing for this in February, but you were outvoted by some of the economic managers of government.
No. There's no truth to that. Actually, wala namang ganon. Walang ganon nangyari.
Kasi you could have acted while Congress was not in session, and the President could have easily imposed the tariffs back through an EO.
I actually went to the Speaker about 2 months ago, no? About April, no? Or late March, about this. And kaagad naman na tumugon si Speaker Martin Romualdez. Of course, I consulted also SP Cheese dito. At more or less agree naman sila in principle, no? But today we actually met with the Congressman Martin Verga and the team of Congress. And nakita namin we still need to do a lot of staff work, no? Sa policy nito. So we're targeting sana mailabas to with the additional na kailangan namin na idagdag from the latest experiences we are having by October this year.
Actually, just to clarify, I think Ses was referring to EO 62, Secretary Kiko. Kung kailan daw ba mare-repeal because kausap namin kagabi yung SINAG at sabi nila as early as the February meeting, may talks na raw na pwede bang i-reinstate yung 35% tariff para po kasi bumaba na yung presyo ng bigas. And it didn't happen, so we just want to know kung possible ba magyari sa next resetting meeting ninyo.
Well, basically, nag-meet kahapon, and the DA has formally put down its position na i-increase nga to 25% na as soon as possible ang tariffs. No? It's being reviewed now by our economic managers and hopefully naman mukhang aligned naman ng konti. So it's just a matter of time.
We can move to the Rice Act that you want passed by October. will this include more funding for the NFA? Because it was pointed out by the farmers groups that with 2% of the market that NFA is buying, it can hardly affect the price. It can hardly influence the entire rice market.
Oh yes, kailangan sa ngayon kasi with the existing law na buffer stocking lang kami, yung 9 billion a year namin sa aming General Appropriations Act can only buy 4 to 5% ng palay, no? But then of course, kung mabago yung batas na pwede kami magbenta as we buy, easily yung 4 to 5% na yan, pwede maging 8 to 10% yan kasi papapaikot namin yung pera or even more. Then because of the 20 peso rice program, dadagdagan ng buying ng budget namin by 10 billion, aabot yung 18 to 19 billion. Wala pong final of course, pero nandun around that range. So that will enable us to buy easily 10% of the produce. At with the new law na mapaikot na, pwede na kami makabili at paikutin yung pera up to 20% to 25% of yung palay production ng ating farmers.
So that will happen if it will be part of the rice.
Pag pumasaho yung batas, hopefully.
And Secretary, kasi sabi nga no farmers groups no kagabi nung kausap namin sila na the next 6 weeks are very crucial for our local rice farmers dahil ang baba po nung farm gate price ng palay parang nasa 8 to 10 pesos if I'm not mistaken. Ano po yung short-term kumbaga recommendations or aid na maibibigay ng DA po sa kanila? Meron po ba kayong ganon?
Well, one is we have to dispose of our stocks faster no sa NFA natin. So yung mga very old stocks na palay ng NFA na medyo matagal na, pinapa-auction na namin yan this August, about 25,000 tons. Plus yung ina-accelerate namin yung 20 peso na rice. So from yung minimum wage earner na initially target na 120,000 individuals, ang target namin ng dole is 600,000 na. Then ini-expand namin yung mga kadiwa para mas lumakas yung offtake at mabawasan talaga yung so we can buy more, no? But ang crucial talaga is yung mapalitan yung batas But meron pa kaming isang paraan na I cannot disclose yet but I have recommended something to the President today lang. I'm still waiting for his feedback kung papayag siya ron at mukhang justified naman although I cannot disclose that yet because it might send the negative or positive things, no? At
we can be a trial balloon for you.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, Secretary, ano po ba ang implication kung binabaha na tayo ngayon ng murang imported rice, hindi ba? Anong implication kung hindi ito matigil?
Ang nangyayari ngayon sa aking konsultasyon sa importers mismo, sa local industry, tsaka within the DA and even with Congress and many people, even the businessmen. And basically, pag hindi natin makontrol yung limit, walang limit kung ilan ang pwedeng i-import ng bigas, kakainin niya yung local industry. At since mas madali, mas mura, maganda pa, kung pareho lang ang presyo, bakit pa magninegosyo ang mag-import na lang lahat, di ba? At talagang mauubos at clearly nangyayari na
At totoo bang, Secretary, even the US wants to export rice to us with zero tariff? Is that correct?
From what I understand, that was discussed pero hindi naman matutuloy.
Secretary, speaking of the U.S., well, the Philippines is now importing U.S. soy and wheat at zero tariffs following that free trade agreement between President Marcos and President Trump. But what would be the implication of that as well, especially to our local farmers? Lalo na kung mabaha din sila.
Sa soya, wala, no? Because we don't produce soya and we really need it. Actually, advantage sa atin yun dahil bababa ang feed cost natin for our livestock. So, that's something very positive. Sa wheat naman, for bread and gano'n, wala rin naman tayong wheat industry. So, may pag-asang maging mas mura din ng tinapay in the near future. Ang concern ng iba, yung tinatawag na feed wheat, no? Na pag na-import at zero duty, baka ma-affect sa corn industry natin. But sa lahat naman ng pagsusuri namin, even with industry, I just consulted industry, we don't really feel that that will natatawid o tatalon sa corn, no? And there are ways naman to address this para hindi ma-affect yung ating corn industry.
And finally, Secretary, aside from all these policies that you want enacted, how can you persuade, paano ba makukumbinsi ang mga rice farmers natin na magtanim? Ayaw na daw nilang magtanim dahil lugi talaga sila.
Well, of course, dapat talaga may matataas ang susi naman diyan ho yung presyo ng palay, no? Kailangan tama yung presyo ng palay para kumita ang ating farmer. And basically it's a supply demand issue yan eh. So the basic thing is we have to restrict imported supply. Yan ang key diyan.
So and a floor price as well for the farmers.
Yeah, but yung floor price kasi, di ba, it's more complicated than that. While the floor price, it should be there parang isang tool, no, na gagamitin natin kung kailan natin kailangan. But ang hirap sa totoo i-implement eh. Especially ngayon kung bago pa yan, marami pang palusot yan. So magiging effective lang ang floor price system pag may enforcement ka na, may budget ka na pag monitoring yan, may sistema ka na in place and everything. But for the immediate, that is not the solution eh. The immediate solution is to actually control the import volumes.
All right. Well, we thank you for your time and we hope this will be passed soon to protect our farmers.
Yes, I'm hopeful and meron din ako meeting with Senator Kiko next week para humingi na suporta niya for this and of course the Congress lead and Senate leadership.
Pero kung Oktubre pa, baka aanin mo pa yung damo kung patay na yung kabayo, sir?
Meron nga kaming plano ngayon na but I cannot say it as of the moment but I'm hopeful na maaprubahan to ng ating presidente at this will be a significant move in order to address this.
Thank you very much.
Abangan natin.
Abangan natin. Kayo naman, inanon nyo pa kami, binitin nyo pa kami. Well, thank you.
I just want to give hope to our farmers na
Don't
count we're doing everything and thinking about all possible legal ways para maayos yung problema nila.
Maraming salamat. Thank you for talking to us again, Department of Agriculture Secretary Francisco Chu Laurel.